Yo, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. So, in this video, I just wanted to show you what I personally do when I don't really have a clear idea as to whether a coin is going to pump or it's just going to drop, like it's consolidating, it's moving sideways. What I do and what I did for this particular coin. So, the coin we're looking at in particular is called Rug. Now, if you don't know how I found this, or if you want to know how I found this, it's the exact same way I showed you in the last video, where I showed you, go onto new pairs, put in those filters that I showed you, and as you can see, it's there. So, again, proof in the pudding that what I show actually works. It's literally here. And then I called this in my group at 200K or 199. Okay. Right now, it's at around 400K. Now, a few minutes ago, like 20 minutes ago, what it did was it did about 50 to 75%. And then it just started consolidating, right? It started just moving sideways. And I personally don't like when coins move sideways because it's like, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Now, obviously, I've learned how to actually analyze whether it's going to go up or down. In this video, I am going to also break down what my thought process is behind it as well. But there is a lot more detail to it. Now, what a lot of you will probably have thought if you saw this was that, oh, it's no longer in an uptrend, it's going into a downtrend. Let me get out, let me sell. If you did that, you wouldn't have maximized your profits. Now, that being said, I still always advise take your initials out, right? So I bought in around 199 and I actually took my initials out around 60% after I saw this because, again, it can go either way. But I still left some in because I still had confidence that it's going to actually go back up, and I'll show you why. So again, what people usually tend to think is when they see, again, the coin starting to dip, they think, oh, because it's sort of, it went like this, as I always show you in other videos, it like did an upwards trend, and then it just reversed, and now it's starting a downtrend. Oh, it's just going to drop to the floor. It could have done that. But what you also need to bear in mind is you're looking at it in a particular time frame. You're looking at it in the minute time frame. It's going to differ from the 5 minute, from the 15 minute, from the hour time frame. It's going to differ, right? Because if we go to the 5 minute time frame, you'll see that it's still an uptrend, right? So don't automatically think just because you're looking at it on the minute time frame that what you think is correct. You actually need to check on different time frames as well, even on the 1 second time frame. So you might have saw, oh, okay, it was starting an uptrend and it sort of did this, but it failed to create a new high, and now it's starting the staircase downwards, so now it's going to start dipping. Yeah, it could have. But what gave me confidence is that when I went into the 5 minute time frame, I actually saw that it's just making a higher low, right? High low, high low, high low, right? It's just in an uptrend. Now, a common way for you to know, there's two ways. One is by looking at the psychological points. I already spoke about this. So in this case, the psychological point would have been 200K, maybe 150K. I would have probably thought 200K more than 150K. But another thing you also need to bear in mind, which I haven't mentioned in other videos, is you need to look at the previous resistance, right? So the previous resistance points, and if you don't know what support and resistance are, I'm not really going to give you a lesson in this video, but again, support is where it bounces off of from the bottom, and resistance is where it bounces off of from the top. So as you can see here, this was the resistance. If we just put a line there, and then this was the support, right? And as you can see, it literally bounced around where the resistance was. And you can use that sometimes as a clear indicator as to where it could bounce off. So even now, for example, this could full on well bounce around here because as you can see, the previous resistance was around 300K, right? Again, resistance are also psychological points. Don't forget that. Now, I say 300K, don't forget it's also going to go above it just a little bit or below it just a little bit. Like, it's not going to be bang on 300K, right? As you can see, this one didn't bounce off. Oh, well, maybe it did. Like, look, you can literally see the proof is there. I'm literally showing you. Now, I'm not going to predict what's going to happen now. It's going to be a lot more into it than it is, but I just wanted to show you. In fact, maybe I will. But I just wanted to show you what my thought process is behind it. So I did tell my group, I told them that take your initials out between 50 to 100% and look out for a bounce at 200K, right? And in case you're wondering as to whether or not I actually sent this, look, 199K, I sent it. And I said DCA yen because it's at all-time high. But I see this doing well because it's ironic, because obviously it says it's called rug. And and aim to take initials between 50 to 100% as usual. And then, as you can see, we ended up with a 2.5x. And then my clients were profiting as well, 286% just off that. And yeah, as you can see, like, you might have looked at this and thought, oh, it's just going to continue dipping. But don't forget, in the like, on a bigger time frame, it's still in an uptrend. So even for this dip right now, I wouldn't be scared of this. Like, look, it's literally just retracing. Like, it's literally just in the normal uptrend that's meant to be in, right? It's creating that staircase movement. Now, if this did this instead, like, let's say it did this, this, and then it drops and it goes to like here, that's when I would be worried, because it dropped below the previous support and it's also dropped below the previous resistance. Like, it's dropped so far down that it's probably, if it does retrace, it's just going to go up to like here and then again down again, right? Really and truly, right? Rarely does a coin ever make its way back up. There is like that 1% or that 0.1% that do, but that's usually based off like news or a tweet that they put out or just something that caused it to pump again. So bear that in mind. But again, if you haven't watched the last videos on, uptrends, downtrends, psychological points, so on and so forth, go and watch them. All right. Now, another thing you need to bear in mind is, this whole video I've been speaking about looking at the chart, where it's going to bounce off of, so on and so forth. But you also need to pay attention to volume, right? The only reason this is able to bounce off of 300K, or this was able to bounce off of this previous resistance, is because of volume, right? If this volume wasn't there, this would barely be moving. Or if this volume was there and it was just sell volume, it would just be dumping, all right? You need to take into account the volume as well. Like, when I called this coin, the reason I had so much confidence in it was with volume was at like 180K, all right? It fluctuated between like 120K to 180K. By the way, I mean in the last 5 minutes. And yeah, that gave me confidence because I know with volume comes pumps, right? Obviously, it's dependent on other factors as well, what they tweet and so on and so forth, whether there's trust behind the coin, whether it's got a narrative. But again, a coin won't do anything without volume, right? But yeah, other than that, if you guys enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate a like. Now, in the description, there is a community that I personally run. It's where I give free meme coin calls. I also give tips, strategies, so on and so forth, a bit of motivation here and there. So if you want to join that, you can join that. I'll accept you when I get time. And yeah, if you want to watch more meme coin content, just subscribe and YouTube will literally show you more meme coin content, because what you subscribe to tells YouTube algorithm, okay, this person likes this guy's content. Clearly they like meme coins, and they'll show you more of my content, but also like more valuable meme coin content. But yeah, other than that, I will see you in the next one. Take care.